important to know where you are, where the practice is. First, you are the practice. I am my practice. That is the most important thing. I am my own practice. I need to work on my emotions, on my reactions, on my habitual tendencies. I need to transform that. That's the thing. That's the target. So, if you have that in your mind, and whatever you are doing, whether it's working on your transforming your emotions, transforming your habitual tendencies, transforming a little bit, working on your, way of reaction, then you are okay. Making it less negative, more to generate more kindness and compassion, rather than all the negative emotions. To understand more, kind of bring more calm and clarity to the mind, rather than kind of too much muddleness and too much busyness. Then I think you're okay. We say that from Buddhist point of view, that we try to work on our, to bring the compassion and wisdom, to generate more compassion and wisdom, and less negative emotions and reactions. That's it. That's the target. There was somebody behind. Yes?
How can we deal with discomfort within the body whilst we're sitting and meditating?
I think the first thing is that we need to sit as comfortably as possible. A relaxed way, easy way, comfortable way. That's better. Of course, for the Tibetans and many other, those who are used to it, sitting in the cross leg is the most comfortable way. After sitting on chairs for all my life, I still cannot sit on the chair for a longer period. As soon as I sit a little comfortably, I take my feet up on and then sit very uncomfortably, but on the chair also I sit like that. Because it's not comfortable to sit with my kind of short legs hanging. Maybe that's one of the reasons also. Yeah. But then there are people who are used to sit only on the chairs, so they cannot sit cross-legged or otherwise. So there, I think it's okay to sit on chairs, a comfortable chair, in a nice way. I don't think there's anything wrong sitting on the chair and meditating, because the future Buddha is sitting on the chair. It was depicted, the future Buddha, Maitreya Buddha, was depicted sitting on a chair 2,500 years ago. It was always depicted sitting on the chair. So therefore, I think it should not be a problem sitting on the chair. So you can, when the future Buddha comes, I will not be very useful. So, but I think it's necessary to be comfortable. And then it's not that you have to sit all the time. Also, I think this is also true. Although in the Tibetan tradition we don't have too much kind of a tradition of teaching walking meditation, but walking meditation is very good. These days, those days, people were always doing something with their body. Even if they have nothing to do, they at least had to go to the river to fetch the drinking water, had to go to fetch the firewood, had to go to lots of physical work had to do. Nowadays, nothing. Even working is like in a room, on the table, in a chair, nice, beautiful room, everything, carpet and everything, just a nice, wonderful table with a cup of coffee and this. What work is this? It's just sitting there, all day. So, it's too much, sedent, what do you call it? Sedentic? No. Sedentary. Too much sedentary? Too much sitting. Too much sitting, I think we are doing too much sitting. I mean, sitting, not sitting meditation, but so I think it's good to do some, movement, walking meditation and things like that also. I think it's very good.
What advice would you give someone who's simply dealing with some anxiety due to change? Either, I would call the 3Ds of death, divorce and disease. How would you initially, what advice would you try and give someone in that initial trauma or loss of health, or their own health, or the health of somebody else?
Could you repeat the question so that others can hear that?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
He's asking about how to deal with trauma,
Loss.
And loss, and too much changes, and how to deal with that.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
3Ds, 4Ds could be death.
Yeah.
Death, disease of yourselves.
Yeah.
Or others.
Death, disease, or anything like that. Yeah. I think this is first. I think is the understanding and accepting is important. From Buddhist point of view, first we take lots of time to meditate on impermanence, and that's very important because impermanence is something that's kind of a fact. It's happened. It is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Although we don't want to look at it, and everybody is going to be sick. Everybody is going to get old. Everybody is going to die, and there is no exception. And that's the way. Nobody can avoid that. So So this is something that is the reality. So being able to understand this really clearly and completely, I think is very important. Everybody is going to get old, get sick, and die. There's no exception. And everybody so far have died also. There's nobody is left behind. So that's what I can. There's nothing else I can expect. So therefore, what we can do is that while I am living, whether it's, but that death is also, there's an uncertainty that who will die when is nobody knows. No guarantee that if you are sick, there's no guarantee that you will die quickly or more sooner than somebody who is totally healthy. It's often said that during the lifetime of a totally, lifetime of a terminally ill person, thousands of totally healthy people die. It's like that. So therefore, when it's not about when I'm going to die, or whether I'm going to die, whether somebody is going to die or not, that's not the main issue. But while we are alive, while we are able to live, we have to live as best as we can. So if I have only one day to live, I need to live it as best as I can, as joyfully as I can. And me fearing the death, worrying about what might happen, is no use for me, because it will not make it better, and it spoils the time now. So therefore, fear has no use, because by fearing, if I have fear, I die every day. If I'm not afraid, I die once. So once I die, I have to face that. I have to face anyway. I have to go through what I have to go through. There's no choice. But I don't have to go through that difficult time every day. So I have no use of fear, and I should not say, I should try to help myself. I should try to understand that, whatever I have to go through, I will go through then when I have to go through, not now when I don't have to go through. So therefore, I live this day as best as I can. And of course, if you have lost your loved ones, sometimes, it's very painful. It's very painful. But it's not that somebody is, I have lost somebody and I am kind of going to be here all the time. It's not like that. People die, but I will die too. Maybe I'll die tomorrow. I'll die day after tomorrow. Maybe a little longer, but So some people have to die first and some people have to die later. So whatever little time I have left in this life, I have to live as best as can. Meaning that I have to do something that is beneficial, that is meaningful, that is purposeful, that is useful for as many people as possible. Then I have lived my life purposefully. Even if I cannot do anything too beneficial or too helping many people, at least I have to live with as much peace and joy At least I can say that I lived this life. If I was not able to do great things or something that is really helpful to the people, at least I enjoyed my life. Yeah? So when I make that kind of decision, I think that's very important, to make a decision on how to live my life. And then I can try to live that as much as possible. That doesn't mean that you will not have any bad feelings or any, sadness or anything like that. But then, we have to live with that also.
What's the Tibetan traditional Buddhist view of where you go when you die?
There's view of what?
What is the traditional Buddhist view of where you go when you die?
Where you go? Where you go depends on yourself. According to Tibetan, we talk about Bardo. From Tibetan Buddhist way, it's not really Tibetan Buddhist, but Buddhist way. It's a cycle. Everything is changing and everything is moving. Every time is a time of what we call it, transient. It's a moving time. So life is a moving time. From birth to death, it's all changing. It's all transient. And then at the time of death is also a change. It's nothing more. It's another, process of changing. And then after death is also another process of changing. And then, taking again the life, process of birth is another changing. So this always, a process. This is the idea of Buddhism. And every process has lots of opportunities. Lots of opportunities, and so if you can catch that opportunity, you can liberate yourself. You can completely kind of free yourself from problems and sufferings. So therefore, every stage has its own, possibilities and opportunities and things like that. So therefore, every stage you don't have to look at something totally bad or totally like a punishment or remorse. You need to try to catch that opportunity and train in that, so that you can be, you can find the lasting peace and happiness there.
Is it possible to have a mind where emotion doesn't surface?
It's not about not having any emotion. It's about how you can work with the emotion. Because emotion is arising. It's a kind of what can you say? It's something happening. It's arising. Like a thought. So if we learn how to deal with the emotions, how to handle the emotions, how to learn to kind of let it come and go, then it doesn't become a problem. That's why it's said that you can't make your emotions as your boss, because it controls you in your life. And then you will be terribly miserable, because it totally controls you. You don't need to take it as too much like an enemy, because then it bothers you all the time. You should learn how to befriend it and deal with it, so that it doesn't make you, it comes and goes, and it doesn't kind of bother you. You understand it, so therefore it cannot harm you. So that's why, when you are able to you are able to learn how to let your thoughts and emotions and experiences kind of come and go. And then the emotions is not a big deal, because it just comes and it goes. And you are not frightened about it. You don't have to be so nervous about that. You know how, it's just coming and going. It's like a visitor. So therefore, that's the main thing. To understand it and to learn how to work with it. Okay then. Thank you very, very much. Education. Sonamdi Lamji Jibani, Tony Nibi, Tana, Pazi, Shekana, Jio, Subi, Zuni, Good night.
We would like to recite something. Will you appreciate? There should be the long line.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Oh, we will. Yes. It was. Do you know the tune, or should we just? Do you know the tune? Okay. If you leave it, yes. Okay. Thank you very much for coming to share your knowledge. We look forward to further wisdom tomorrow, 10 till 12, and at 7 till 9 again.
Thank you.
Thank you.